My stepdad spent 15 years telling me I was worthless, then asked me to pay for his heart surgery. Let me back up. My name's David. I'm 28 now. My mom married Rick when I was 13, and he made my life hell. Not physical abuse or anything, just constant words. Every single day, he'd find something wrong with me. My grades weren't good enough. My friends were losers. I'd never amount to anything. I remember sitting at the dinner table when I was 15, and he looked at me and said, "You're going to end up working at McDonald's your whole life. That's the best you can do." I left for college at 18 and didn't look back. Got my degree in business, got a job at an insurance company making decent money, bought a house, built a real life. My mom would call and ask why I didn't visit more, and I'd make excuses, but the real reason was Rick. I couldn't stand being around him. Then last month my mom called me crying. Rick had a heart attack, a bad one. He needed surgery, bypass surgery, expensive surgery. The hospital said it would cost about $180,000 after insurance. My mom was panicking about money. They didn't have much saved. I felt bad for my mom, I really did. So I asked, "How can I help?" And my mom said, "Rick needs to ask you something." Then he got on the phone. His voice sounded weak, which was weird. Rick always sounded so angry and strong. He said, "David, I'm sorry for everything. I was hard on you, too hard. I was dealing with my own stuff and I took it out on you. I know I can't fix the past, but I'm asking you now, can you help us? Can you help pay for my surgery?" I didn't say anything for like 10 seconds. My brain was spinning. This man spent 15 years making me feel like garbage. He never apologized once. And now he was asking me for $180,000 because he needed it. I said, "Rick, I need to think about this," and I hung up. I called my best friend Marcus that night. I told him everything, and Marcus said, "Dude, you don't owe him anything. He destroyed your confidence for years. You don't have to fix this." But my mom kept calling. Every day. "David, please. He's scared. He's changed. He knows what he did to you." And I started to feel guilty, like maybe I was being cruel. He was sick. He was scared. Did it matter that he was mean to me 15 years ago? So I told my mom I'd pay for half, $90,000. I wasn't going to pay for all of it, but I'd help. I thought that was fair. I thought that showed I was a good person. When I told Rick, he got quiet. Then he said, "Half? David, I can't believe you'd only pay half. After everything your mom has done for you. After everything we've done for you." Everything they'd done for me? My mom loved me. But Rick had done nothing but tear me down. I said, "Rick, I'm paying half. That's more than you deserve. You're exactly like I always said. Selfish. Cold. You're going to regret this when I'm gone." And something in me just broke. All those years of him telling me I was worthless. And here he was, asking me for money, getting angry that I wasn't giving him enough. I said, "You know what? I'm not paying anything. Not a dime. You spent my whole childhood telling me I was a failure. You made me hate myself. And now you want me to save your life because you're scared? No. I'm done." I hung up. I didn't answer when my mom called. I didn't answer for 3 days. On the 4th day, my mom came to my house in person. She was crying. She said Rick was going into surgery in 2 days, and they still didn't have the money. The hospital was demanding a payment plan. My mom said, "I know he hurt you, but he's my husband, and if he dies because we can't pay, I won't forgive myself, and I won't forgive you." That hit hard. I looked at my mom and said, "Mom, I love you, but I can't do this. I can't pay for his surgery. I just can't." She left without saying anything. Rick had the surgery. He lived. The hospital set up a payment plan, and my mom's been paying it off. She's working extra shifts. She looks exhausted all the time. My mom still talks to me, but it's different now. Cold. Rick won't even look at me when I visit. And I keep wondering if I was wrong, if I'm a bad person for refusing to help. My girlfriend says I did the right thing. She says I don't owe anyone that kind of money, especially someone who hurt me. But my mom's working herself to death, and it feels like it's my fault. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay? My ex-wife emptied our daughter's college fund without telling me, then tried to hide it when I found out. Let me back up. My name's David. I'm 48. I was married to Sarah for 16 years before things fell apart. We had one daughter, Emma. When Emma was born, we set up a 529 college savings plan. Every month for 18 years I put money in. Birthdays, holidays, bonuses at work. All of it went into that account. By the time Emma turned 18, we had saved up $87,000. When Emma got accepted to UCLA, I was the proudest dad alive. Full ride was off the table, but with our savings, we could cover everything. Tuition, dorms, books, all of it. Then one day I got a call from the college. There was a problem with the payment. The account was empty. I called Sarah right away. "Where's the college fund?" There was this pause, a long one. "David, I can explain." "Explain what?" "That money was for Emma, you know that. I needed it. My business was failing and I was going to lose everything." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You took $87,000 from our daughter's future without asking me, without telling me?" "I was going to pay it back. I was going to." When were you going to pay it back, Sarah? Emma starts school in 3 weeks. She didn't have an answer. She just kept saying she was sorry and that she panicked. But sorry doesn't pay for college. Sorry doesn't help Emma. I got a lawyer and pulled her bank records. Sarah had spent the money on her failing boutique clothing store, personal shopping trips, and dinners out. She'd been bleeding money for years and just decided to raid our daughter's future without a single conversation with me. Here's where it got interesting. I found out Sarah's new boyfriend, this guy named Marcus, had money, a lot of it. He owned a tech company that was about to go public. He was worth maybe $12 million, and Sarah had started living with him. So I did something calculated. I hired a private investigator to look into Marcus's business. Turns out, he'd been stealing code from his own employees and selling it to other companies. He was making side money off intellectual property that didn't belong to him. It was all documented in encrypted emails on a personal server. I also found out Marcus was hiding assets from a previous marriage. His first wife's lawyer was still looking for $3 million he claimed didn't exist, but it did. It was in offshore accounts. I sent everything, the emails, the bank records, the whole thing, to Marcus's first wife's lawyer, the SEC, and the FBI. Then I did something else. I made sure Sarah knew it came from me. I showed up at her apartment with Emma. Sarah opened the door and her face went white when she saw me. What are you doing here? I came to tell you that Marcus is going to have a very bad day soon. The FBI is investigating him for fraud. His company is about to implode. His ex-wife just found $3 million in hidden accounts. And when the IPO falls through, all that money he was showing off, gone. Sarah's face got pale. David, what did you do? What I should have done a long time ago. I made sure someone answered for stealing from my daughter. Within 6 weeks, Marcus's company was under federal investigation. The IPO was canceled. His ex-wife sued him and won. He lost his house, his car, everything. And Sarah? She lost her meal ticket. But that wasn't the payoff. The payoff was that the court ordered Sarah to repay the college fund in full as part of our custody settlement, with interest. She had to sell her apartment, her car, everything. It took her 3 years to pay back every single dollar. Emma got her college fund. She graduated from UCLA debt-free. And Sarah learned that you don't steal from your kid without consequences. I found out my fiancée had been sleeping with her best friend Marcus for the entire 3 years we've been together. Let me back up. My name is David. I'm 32. Sarah and I got engaged last year. We were supposed to get married in 8 months. I thought we had a solid relationship. We didn't fight much. We had plans. We talked about kids. Everything seemed normal. But there was always this thing with Marcus. Sarah and Marcus had been friends since college. They hung out a lot. Like a lot. Once or twice a week. They'd text constantly. She'd laugh at his jokes in a way that sometimes made me feel weird. But I trusted her. She always said Marcus was like a brother to her. I believed her. 2 weeks ago, I was at work and realized I forgot my laptop at home. I needed files for a meeting. Sarah was at her office downtown, so I drove home to grab it. When I walked in, I heard voices upstairs. I heard Sarah laugh. Then I heard a man's voice. I knew that laugh. It was Marcus. I didn't go upstairs right away. I sat in the kitchen for like 5 minutes just trying to think. Then I heard it. The sound of them, together, in our bed. I went upstairs. They didn't even see me at first. Sarah was on top of him. When she looked up and saw me standing in the doorway, her face just went white. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there. Marcus scrambled out of bed fast. Sarah grabbed his sheet. David, she started. Don't, I said. Just don't. Marcus was trying to grab his clothes. Man, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Get out, I said. Both of you, get out of my house. Sarah was crying. Please, let me explain. It's not what you think. It's literally exactly what I think, I said. You're in our bed with another man. How long? She didn't answer. How long, Sarah? Since before we moved in together, she whispered. I felt like someone punched me in the stomach. That was 2 years ago. 2 years. She was sleeping with him the whole time. While we were planning our future. While I was saving for the wedding. While I was telling my family we were getting married. Marcus left. Sarah stayed and tried to talk to me, but I couldn't hear it. I told her to get out. She packed a bag and went to her sister's place. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I called Marcus's girlfriend. Yes, he has a girlfriend. Her name is Jennifer. They've been together for 8 months. She lives 2 hours away, but they see each other most weekends. I sent her everything. Texts between Marcus and Sarah. The times he was at our house. Pictures I found on Sarah's phone from a hotel they went to last month. Jennifer deserved to know who she was with. Jennifer came to the city. She showed up at Marcus's apartment with his stuff in bags. I heard about it from Sarah, who heard about it from Marcus's sister. Sarah tried calling me every day for a week. Then she showed up at my office with flowers and an apology letter. I told security to make sure she didn't come back. The wedding is canceled. I'm getting the ring back. Sarah wants to talk about therapy and fixing things. I told her the only thing she fixed was helping me see who she really is. Marcus lost his girlfriend, lost his apartment lease because Jennifer was on it and left him with the bills. Sarah lost her fiancé, lost her best friend, lost the life she was planning, and I'm done. I'm selling the house, starting fresh. My sister called me crying, saying she was about to get evicted and needed $3,000 by Friday. I gave her the money without asking questions. 2 weeks later, I found out she spent it on a vacation. Let me back up. My sister Emily and I have always been close. We're 28 and 26. Growing up, our parents weren't great with money, so when we became adults, I made sure to be responsible. I have a good job in tech, make decent money, and I've helped Emily out before when things got tight. Nothing crazy, like $200 here, $500 there, but I always knew where the money was going. So when she called me that Tuesday morning completely panicked, I didn't hesitate. She was sobbing. She said her landlord gave her an eviction notice, that she was 3 months behind on rent, and if she didn't pay by Friday, she'd be out on the street. She had nowhere else to go. She said she'd hit rock bottom and needed my help to get back on her feet. I asked her a few questions. How did it get this bad? She said her job had cut her hours. She'd been struggling for months, but was too embarrassed to tell me. She promised that as soon as she got caught up at work, she'd pay me back. She sounded so scared. So I transferred $3,000 from my savings account that same day. Emily texted me that night saying thank you, that I saved her life, that she'd never forget what I did. I felt good about it, like a good sister. Then I got a text from my friend Jordan 2 weeks later. She sent me a photo. It was Emily at some beach resort, holding a cocktail, looking tan and happy. My stomach dropped. I called Emily immediately. What is going on? You're at a beach? She got quiet. Really quiet. Emily, answer me. That's my money. It's not like that, she said. Then what is it like? I needed to get away. I was having a breakdown. The money stress was killing me, and I just needed to clear my head. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You told me you were about to be evicted. You told me your landlord was kicking you out. You cried on the phone with me, and you spent my $3,000 on a vacation? I know how it sounds, she said. Do you? Do you actually? Because it sounds like you lied to me. It sounds like you manipulated me into giving you money under false pretenses. I didn't lie. I was behind on rent, but I talked to my landlord and what? And you worked it out? So you knew. You knew the eviction wasn't happening and you took my money anyway. She started crying again. I needed help. I was drowning, and you're the only person who would actually give it to me. By lying to me. By telling you I was struggling, which is true, but not true about the eviction, not true about the timeline, not true about any of it. She didn't respond. I want the money back. All of it. 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. Then, you need to figure it out. I hung up. Now it's been a month. She's texted me a few times saying she's sorry, that she made a mistake, that she's been paying me back little by little. She sent me $600 so far. She asked if we could talk, if I could forgive her, but here's where I'm second-guessing myself. Emily did say she was struggling. She was telling the truth about that, and maybe she really was having a breakdown and needed a mental health break. I know stress can make people do stupid things, and I know I can afford the money. It's not going to ruin me financially, but she lied to my face. She cried and manipulated me into helping her by making the situation sound way worse than it was, and when I confronted her, she didn't take real responsibility. She just made excuses. I haven't responded to her texts in 3 weeks. My mom called me and said I'm being too hard on her, that family should help family, that I should let it go, but I can't just let this go. It feels like a betrayal. Am I being too harsh? Should I just forgive her and move on? I found out my girlfriend of 4 years married her ex-husband last month. I only found out because her mom accidentally texted me. Let me back up. Sarah and I met at work in 2020. She was fresh out of a divorce from this guy named Marcus. She told me it ended badly, that he was controlling and mean to her. She didn't want to talk about it much, and I didn't push. We moved in together after 2 years. Everything seemed solid. We talked about getting married, having kids, the whole thing. Last Tuesday, I got a text from her mom, Linda. It said, Sarah looks so happy in the dress. Can't believe she's finally doing this right. I thought maybe it was about a work event or something. I texted back asking what she meant. Linda called me immediately. She realized she'd texted the wrong number in her contacts. When I asked her what that message was about, there was this long pause. You don't know? She finally said. My stomach went tight. Know what? Sarah got married last month, to Marcus. I sat there holding the phone. I couldn't even respond. Linda kept talking, saying she thought Sarah had told me, that she was sorry, that Sarah had asked her not to say anything but she figured I knew. I hung up and drove straight home. Sarah was at work. I sat in our apartment for 3 hours just staring at nothing. Then I texted her, we need to talk when you get home. When she walked in, she knew something was wrong immediately. I didn't even let her put her bag down. Did you marry Marcus? I asked. She went completely white. She just froze. Answer me. It's not what you think, she said. That's not an answer. Yes or no. She sat down on the couch. Yes, but it's complicated. I laughed. Actually laughed. Complicated. You married your ex-husband without telling me, and it's complicated. He needed his visa renewed, she said quietly. His work visa was expiring. He asked if I could help him, and marriage was the only way to do it fast. So you married him? It's just paperwork. I stared at her. You're married to another man. You're wearing my ring. We have plans, and you did this behind my back. Because I knew you'd get mad. Yeah, Sarah, I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad because you lied to me for a month. You married someone? You had to have gotten an address, a license, gone to an office or a courthouse. You did all of that without telling me. She started crying. He's my family. He's alone here without anyone. I was just trying to help. You're married to him. Do you understand what that means? That's not helping. That's betrayal. It's not real, she said. It's temporary. It's legal. It's real in every way that matters, and you hid it from me. I got up and walked to the bedroom, started throwing clothes in a bag. Where are you going? She asked. Away. I can't be here right now. She followed me. Please don't do this. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Multiple choices. To marry him, to not tell me, to keep lying every single day. I left and went to my brother's place. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Turns out Sarah's legally married to Marcus, which means our relationship status is complicated legally. We can't get married. If anything happened to me, she'd have to deal with Marcus as my spouse's legal family. It's a mess. I told her we were done. She begged me to work it out, said she'd file for divorce from Marcus immediately. But I was done. You don't come back from this kind of lie. You don't accidentally marry someone. You don't keep it secret for a month. She filed for divorce from Marcus 2 days later, but it doesn't matter. She chose him over honesty with me. She chose to hide something massive instead of telling me the truth. That's not a relationship. That's just a con. I found a birth certificate in my wife's desk drawer that said her sister was actually born to her parents 16 years before my wife was, and it had a different last name. Let me back up. I'm Mark. I'm 38, and I've been married to Sarah for 9 years. We have 2 kids. Sarah's sister Emma has lived with us for the past 3 years. She's supposed to be 26 years old. She works part-time at a coffee shop, doesn't pay rent, and my wife treats her like she's basically her kid. I never thought much about it. Family stuff, you know. But last week I was looking for a pen in Sarah's desk because I needed to sign some paperwork for work. I wasn't snooping. I just opened the drawer, and there it was, a birth certificate. And the name on it was Emma Catherine Walsh, not Emma Richardson. Walsh was Sarah's maiden name. The date said she was born in 1989. That made her 34, not 26. I sat there staring at it for like 5 minutes. My brain wasn't working right. I pulled out my phone and looked at Emma's Instagram. In her bio it said she was 26. On her driver's license, which I'd seen before, she was 26. Everything said 26. Then I realized something else. The father's name on the birth certificate wasn't Sarah's dad. It was some guy named David Morales. I heard Sarah coming home from work. I put the certificate back exactly where I found it. My hands were shaking. I needed to think about this first. That night after Emma went to bed, I brought it up to Sarah. I was trying to be calm about it. Hey, I'd have a weird question. How old is Emma really? Sarah looked at me like I'd asked her something in a different language. What do you mean? She's 26. Why are you asking me that? I'm just checking. You're sure about that? She put down her phone. Mark, what's going on? Why would I not know my own sister's age? I didn't want to tell her I'd found the certificate yet. I needed to understand what was happening first. Just seems weird that she's been here 3 years and I don't really know anything about her family stuff. Like where she came from before, what she was doing. Sarah got defensive. Why are you interrogating me about my sister? She needed a place to stay. We helped her out. That's what family does. I'm not interrogating you. I'm just asking questions. Well, it feels like you're accusing me of something. I'm not. I just want to understand. She stood up. You know what? I don't like this. She's my sister. She's family. If you have a problem with her living here, just say it. That's not what this is about. Then what is it about, Mark? I couldn't answer because I didn't want to admit I'd been in her desk, so I let it drop. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. The next morning, I called my buddy Jeff. He works in HR, and he's good at finding stuff out. I didn't tell him the full story. I just asked if he could look up someone's legal records. It depends on what you're looking for, he said. Why? Just curious about someone. Background check kind of thing. I gave him Emma's full name and her birthday according to the birth certificate. He said he'd poke around. Then I did something stupid. I opened Sarah's email on the computer. We share the password for the family account. I wasn't trying to invade her privacy. I just wanted context. And I found something. There was an email chain from 8 months ago between Sarah and someone named Patricia Morales. The subject line was Emma's situation. My heart started pounding. I opened it. The first email was from Patricia. Sarah, I can't keep doing this. I can't lie to people anymore. This is eating me alive. I need to tell her the truth. Sarah's response. You can't. We promised we wouldn't. She's finally stable. If you tell her now, you're going to destroy her, and you're going to destroy this family. Please don't do this. Patricia again. I've kept this secret for 34 years. Don't you think she deserves to know who she really is? Then, nothing. The conversation just stopped. I heard footsteps. Sarah was coming down the stairs. I closed the laptop so fast I almost broke it. She came into the kitchen and looked at me. Something in her face changed. She knew. Somehow she knew I'd found something. We need to talk, she said, and I need you to promise me something first. Promise you what? That you won't tell Emma anything until we figure this out, that you'll let me explain this the right way. My stomach dropped. Sarah, what is going on? She sat down at the table. She looked like she was about to cry. Emma isn't my sister, she said quietly. She's my half-sister. And there's something else, something much worse. And if this gets out, it's going to destroy everything. Destroy what? She took a breath. My mom, and possibly our marriage. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A text from Jeff. Hey man, I found something weird about that person you asked about. Call me when you can. This is bad. My sister flooded my apartment with a broken water heater, never paid for damages, and now expects to stay with me rent-free for 6 months. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm Sarah, I'm 34, and my sister Jessica is 29. We've always been close, but money stuff has been weird between us for years. She's never been great with her finances. I've bailed her out maybe 5 times, paying off credit cards, covering rent when she got fired. But this situation is different, and I need to know if I'm being cruel here. 2 years ago, Jessica was living in an apartment I owned. My name was on the lease. She was paying me rent, like $900 a month, which was way below market for our area. The water heater was old, but it worked fine. I offered to replace it. She said no, it was fine. She didn't want me spending money on her. I didn't push it. Then one morning, the heater burst. Water everywhere. It flooded her bedroom, the bathroom, the living room. Ruined her furniture, her clothes, her laptop. She called me crying. I came over right away. The damage was bad. My insurance covered most of it, like $12,000 worth. But there was a $3,000 deductible. I paid it. I also paid for the new heater installation, which was another $2,000. I paid for water removal, mold testing, the whole thing. In total, I spent about $5,000 out of pocket to fix what was technically my property. Jessica never offered to pay me back. Not once. I didn't ask at first because I felt bad for her. But after a month, I brought it up. She said, Sarah, I can't afford that right now. I'm barely making it. I said, I know you're struggling, but I spent $5,000. That's not nothing. She got defensive. Well, it's your apartment. Isn't that your responsibility? I told her, you lived there. You could have let me replace the heater when I offered. This isn't my fault. She just shut down. We didn't talk about it again, and honestly, I let it go. I didn't want to fight with her. Fast forward to last month. Jessica got evicted from her new place. She lost her job, missed 3 months of rent, and her landlord kicked her out. She called me in a panic. She said, I need help. Can I stay with you for a few months until I get back on my feet? I told her yes, but just for a month, while she figured things out. I work from home. I have a small apartment, and I needed my space. A month felt fair. Then she said, actually, I'm thinking more like 6 months. I need time to save for a deposit and find a new job. I said, 6 months is a long time, Jessica. I can't do that. She got quiet. Then she said, after everything you've done for me, I thought you'd help. I felt like she was guilt-tripping me. So I said, I have helped. I paid for the water damage. I've given you money before. I'm offering you a place for a month. She said, that water damage wasn't my fault. You owned the apartment, and a month isn't enough time. I'll be homeless. I said, you won't be homeless. We have family. Mom would take you in. She said, Mom doesn't have room, and you know that. Then she started crying and said, I can't believe you're turning me away when I'm desperate. I told her I'm not turning her away. I'm giving her a month, but 6 months is too much. I need my apartment back. Now she's mad at me. Our mom is mad at me. She's telling everyone I'm selfish and cruel, and that I should help my sister more, especially after she's already helped me so much. But here's the thing. I did help. I paid for the damages. I've given her thousands, and I'm still offering her a place to stay for a month. I'm not refusing to help. I'm just saying 6 months is too much to ask. Am I the one being a jerk here? Should I let her stay longer? I feel guilty, but I also feel like I've done enough.